In this video, we'll explore how to use PostgreSQL's Foreign Data Wrapper feature to access tables from databases running on different servers. Let's get started. I'll be performing this process on a Windows operating system, and PostgreSQL is already installed. To get started, open a terminal as an administrator. First, we're creating two separate homes for our data on the C drive. Think of these as two different skyscrapers in the same city. Now, we head into the Postgres bin folder to actually build these structures. We'll start by initializing the cluster HR. During this step, PostgreSQL will prompt you to set and confirm a password. Make sure to note it somewhere safe, as it will be required later. After that, we'll initialize the cluster payroll cluster using the same process. I set a password, confirm the password, and make sure to write it down here. Don't forget to take a note. Once that's done, let's continue. Now here's the tricky part. By default, both clusters will use the same port, but we don't want that. To avoid this, we need to modify the configuration files of both clusters. First, I'll update the configuration file for the HR cluster and set the port to 5D433. Save the file and exit. Next, let's edit the configuration file for the payroll cluster and set its port to 5434. Once this is done, each database cluster will have its own dedicated port. Now that the ports are configured, let's move on and register our clusters as Windows services. We do this so Windows can manage the PostgreSQL clusters for us, making them easier to start, stop, and control. First, let's register the HR cluster. By doing this, we tell Windows where the HR cluster lives and give it a dedicated service name so it can be managed independently. Next, we register the payroll cluster the same way, making sure it also has its own service and identity within the system. At this stage, the services are registered, but the databases are not running yet. So now let's start them. We'll start the HR cluster first, bringing the database online and ready to accept connections. After that, we'll start the payroll cluster. Once both services are running successfully, our PostgreSQL clusters are fully active, each listening on its own port and ready to be used. Additionally, you can easily check the status of the services with a simple command. As you can see, both of the services we created are currently running. Let's continue. Now let's switch over to pgAdmin. As you can see, there are no servers registered yet. First, I'll register the HR cluster. I set the port to 5433, enter the password we created earlier, and you can safely click Save Password. The host name can be set like this. And that's it. The HR server is now registered. Next, let's register the payroll server. The steps are exactly the same. The only difference is the port. This time, I set the port to 5434 and save it. Now, both servers are registered in pgAdmin. After registering the servers, let's create our databases. I'll start with the HR server and create a new database. When you click the Save button, you might see an encoding error. If that happens, don't worry, just select an appropriate encoding based on the error message. In my case, I'm setting it to Win1252, and the database is created successfully. Now let's create a database for the payroll server. I follow the same steps here and fix the encoding in the same way. At this point, we have two different servers, and each server contains one database. Next, I'll open a SQL sheet for Payroll DB. I'll directly use the SQL scripts I prepared earlier by copying and pasting them. Here, we'll start by creating an employees table. This table will store basic employee information, so we define columns for an employee ID, full name, department, and salary. Once the table is created, let's insert some sample data. I'll add a few employees, Alice, Bob, and Charlie, with different departments and salaries. After inserting the data, we run a select query to verify everything. The result confirms that our table is populated correctly and the data is safely stored in the payroll database. Now let's switch to the HR database and open a new SQL sheet there. I'll directly use the SQL scripts I prepared earlier by copying and pasting them. First, I'll try to query the employees table directly. As expected, the query fails because this table does not exist in the HR database. The data lives on a completely different server. This is where the magic happens. To allow the HR database to access data from another PostgreSQL server, we first enable the Foreign Data Wrapper extension. This gives PostgreSQL the ability to connect to external data sources. Next, we define a foreign server. Here we tell PostgreSQL where the payroll database is located by specifying its host, port, and database name. This creates a logical link between the HR server and the payroll server. After that, we create a user mapping. This step is required so the HR server knows which credentials to use when connecting to the payroll database. Once the connection details are in place, we create a foreign table. This table doesn't store any data locally. Instead, it acts as a live window into the employees table on the payroll server. The column structure matches the source table, so PostgreSQL knows how to interpret the data. Finally, we run a select query on the foreign table. And just like that, we're able to see the employees' data from the payroll database directly from the HR server. At this point, we've successfully connected two independent PostgreSQL servers and enabled cross-server data access using PostgreSQL's built-in capabilities. Now let's take this a step further and test how inserts behave across both servers. First, I'll insert a new record on the HR server. As expected, the data appears immediately on the HR side, but the real question is, will this record also be visible on the payroll server? Let's check right away. Yes, it shows up there exactly as we expected. Next, let's perform an insert on the payroll server. The new record is visible on the payroll side without any issues, but what about the HR server? Will it be able to see this newly added data as well? Let's test it. And yes, the data appears on the HR server too, just expected. Now everything is ready. As a final step, let's see how we can connect to both clusters using Python and run simple select queries. Before connecting, we need to install the required Python modules. Once that's done, we're good to go. Let's start with the payroll cluster. In this script, we first import the library that allows Python to talk to PostgreSQL. Then we define the connection settings for the payroll database, including the port that identifies the payroll cluster. After that, we establish a connection, create a cursor, and run a simple select query on the employees table. The results are then printed to the screen and the connection is closed. Let's run the script and see the result. As you can see, the select query runs successfully and we're able to read data directly from the payroll system. Now, let's move on to the HR cluster. The structure of this script is almost the same. We import the same library and define the connection details, this time pointing to the HR cluster and its port. The main difference is the select query. Here, we query the foreign table, which acts as a bridge to the payroll database. Even though the data physically lives on the payroll server, we can access it seamlessly from the HR cluster. Let's run this script as well and see what happens. The select query executes successfully and we're able to fetch payroll data through the HR server using Python. For more Python and PostgreSQL tutorials, make sure to check out the courses section. There are plenty of free courses available. And if you'd like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and join. Keep learning.